Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Chess with Creative Craving. We are going to try this again, but first I want to take a look at our profile of our rival here, who beat us so soundly. Let's take a closer look here at this Siduran 5. Okay, now let's just kind of take a look-see. I kind of want to see how he's been doing. Yeah, look at that steep rise. Okay, from 100. Steep rise here, and then just steady progress. Well, some of it downward. Quick rise again. Okay, so he's kind of hanging out down here, kind of like I've been. May as well bring up my profile as a point of comparison. Rajapal. Okay, well, oh, yeah, my progress has been kind of steady. I did lose the last game. That's kind of why it dropped off. You know, if I continue playing, it'll probably keep going up. And honestly, if I kept playing last night, I probably could have won another game and at least got this to stay even, right? So, I feel like overall, it's a very short period of time, right? I haven't been playing for very long. He's played 53 games. I've only played 11. Huh, interesting. I felt like he was a really strong player when I played him. But looking at this graph, it looks like he's kind of settled in to... Oh, wait. Has he played 53 games of Rapid or 5 games of Rapid? Because it looks like it's only 5. Well, let's go back to here. Yeah, overall he's played many games. It's cool. Okay, 57 games here. Is it... It's not missing that one. Okay, he's played 57 games overall, 5 games of Rapid. So if I look, he's done puzzles, Rapid, what else? Oh, these are all 30-minute games. Am I wrong? Yeah, okay, so he's played a ton of Rapid. Okay, never mind. I will say that for me, I find that Rapid is the best. Like recently, I started out just playing 10-minute chess and just felt rushed the whole time. But when I switched to 30-minute chess, what I found was I felt like I needed about 11 minutes to finish a game and close out a game without rushing too much. And then I started learning more, and so now it's taking me longer. And then I started watching high-level players evaluate the game board, and I started copying what they're doing, and now I'm taking even longer. And of course, with you guys along for the ride, I'm taking a long time. I mean, you know, you can grow in different ways. Like you could do a bunch of bullet games in 30 minutes, right? You could do like a bunch of 5-minute games or a bunch of even 1-minute games. You could do probably 20 to 25 1-minute games in 30 minutes and grow that way. Or you could do what I'm doing and just go real slow with each game and learn as much as you can from each game individually. That works best for me. This player, I mean, as far as I can tell, they're a solid player, but it does look like... Well, again, I'm kind of new here around here anyway, but what this data kind of indicates to me is they might be settled into where they're at. Although there is a trend going upward, right here. So maybe right around this period they started getting smart, started getting better. Maybe around here, like they had the, you know, they ducked down a lot. They got a victory back up to where they were before, 273, 277. And maybe from here they started getting some lessons or something, or started really thinking about the game differently. So maybe this is where their breakthrough happened. Anyway, they've been playing for a while, right? Whereas I've not been playing very long. So whatever I think I know, I've only been playing since the 7th. And they've been playing since... Oh yeah, so basically all of my history is in this period, right? Maybe everyone's getting better in this time period. What do I know? So if I do past 7 days... Oh, wow, that's not happy. That doesn't make me happy. It jumped up here on the 19th, or between the 19th and 21st. But then I lost that game. Well, yeah, it did jump up because I won some games. Let's say past 7 days. Okay, pretty low. Anyway, interesting. I felt like this is a pretty strong player. I'm going to do a friend request. I'd like to play them again sometime, if nothing else to see how I've grown or how they've grown. All right, but with that settled, we've looked at their profile a little bit. Let's move on and do a new match. Or a rematch would be fun, but yeah. I'm sure they're not around. Okay, so here we go. I'm not enjoying playing as black. I'm used to playing just a solid defense as white. I've got an idea of a solid defense of white, but I really don't know how to do it as black. So I'm going to try something new, probably do poorly. We'll see how it goes. Then again, I was black in that last game, and it went well for me. So maybe I'll just stick to what I know and just try to make it work. I kind of felt like in the early game, like when I started developing my pieces, they weren't really well coordinated in that last game, and I feel like that's because I don't know how to play as white and be coordinated. I feel like that's the issue there. But I still got an advantage overall. This player is slightly stronger than the last one I lost to, but still weaker than me, at least according to score. And he's got low lag, so I'm not beating him on that this time. Okay, this guy's not taking the center there like I was thinking, but whatever. I could just defend this pawn. It really... Oh, not defend the pawn. This would have defended the pawn. It's really not that important. It's just the opening, right? So, order's not that important, I guess. It might... Like, maybe if I do things in the wrong order, high-level players could punish me, but I don't think Roofman's going to manage that. Okay, he is attacking my pawn, and now I'm defending it. So yeah, just a little out of order, but hey. Now, if I go here, what is that like? That's a good place. I got a lot of visibility in that square for the bishop, so I would like that move. This one isn't bad, but it's a little bit too aggressive. It does deliver a check, though. Pawn's going to swoop in and stop that. Okay, so he's challenging my bishop, just like last game. I like that exchange. I'd rather take his bishop compared to my rook, at least in this part of the game. So I'm going to ignore it and develop my piece to here. All right. I mean, not much left to do. I do need to get this piece out in front of the queen to do some more development. Need to decide how to handle it. Okay, so I probably need to protect my piece here or move it. Protecting's probably better. And this would let me get my second rook out in a similar spot. So maybe that's what I'll do, and kind of sort of give up the idea of queenside castling, I guess, because we've still got a good structure over here on the king side. So. Looks like a solid opener. We do have to think about what he's going to be able to do next. We're getting into some potential fork territory. Yeah, I mean, this isn't so bad, right? We just need to think about it. I wouldn't expect him to go here. Oops. Not expecting that. Okay. Okay, so we were thinking about moving this piece now. And, you know, I don't have anything really that would challenge his next move. I could go ahead and develop the bishop this way and leave the queen alone. Let's do that. I guess we can still develop the queen here. Maybe I should have gone ahead and castled. He is working on some stuff. I'm strong on this side. He's able to castle to either direction. I'm just going to castle here. Leave the queen side open to him. Okay, he's castling king side as well. I am kind of able to attack that side, though, I feel like. I could trade here, but I'm not up material. I think it's a little bit premature. Okay, I could bring my rook out. That's not a bad move. We could... Okay, now what if I bring my rook out and then I force him to take this pawn? Because then we sort of have the bishops close to a pin. We still need to deal with this knight in some way. So if I could just drive him back with some pawns, that would be really good for me. Unfortunately, I don't have any way to move these pawns forward, really, and have them support each other. I guess I could have the bishop supporting this pawn, but that seems like a waste of a bishop. Well, I'm kind of stumped on how to go forward. I mean, generally, though, developing the rook isn't a bad idea. It might not help me yet, but it'll eventually help, right? I just don't know what the best move is. I feel like there's a good one that I'm leaving on the board somewhere. Maybe I could pin something to something. I quite like being able to... If I could just... Well, if wishes were horses, right? If I could get rid of that piece somehow, and then get rid of this one. Actually, if I can get rid of this piece, if I can sack one of my free pieces to get rid of this one, well, no, the pawn's what's going to take. So this one's still going to be trapped. We're going to be in the same situation, but we're down a piece. That wouldn't help. I could go ahead and attack this. And give him the choice to attack it and take it. We could trade pawns, but then I lose my bishop here, which I'm not really a fan of. And I don't have a way to trade equally there, so that's not a good move. We could try moving the bishop. One of the bishops. Now, what if we move here? Okay, we'd be attacking the knight, forcing him to move. There's nothing really behind it. I think what I would want to do is wait till he gets something behind it to pin it to, and it'd be an obvious move, right? But he might not give me that chance. I think it's like a second best move. It's not one I'd reach for, but it's one I can do if I don't think of anything else. This might be an okay move. We get some kind of play. There is the potential of having this bishop involved, but... Well, I could also just sack the rook, or sack the knight, but again, I'm just going to lose it and keep the same position, keep the same problems at the same position, plus it's still defended. So that's not a good one. I think I'll just put some pressure on him here and see what happens. Okay, let's try to think a little more long term while we got some time. My pieces, I feel like, are really pretty well consolidated. I feel like they can coordinate pretty well. I haven't developed my queen yet. Maybe that should be my next move. Okay, so he took... What was it he took? He took my bishop with his bishop. Okay, a bishop trade. I mean, it's... Okay, so I think he was just trying to open up this file. That's probably what it was. Which allows him to move forward here. I'm not sure if I want to take that trade or not, to be honest. If I go here... Oh yeah, that's a pin. But he can take it right away. Well, it's exciting. It'll force him to move this structure, but I don't see how that immediately benefits me. Although we could get the queen in there. How about this? Let's move the queen here, and if he takes here... Well, here's the problem. Let's say I move the queen here, ideal case. He ignores and just captures, right? Then this knight... and then I move my bishop here, right? Now I'm forking here. He can take my knight, but then my queen goes in here and does nothing, actually. Yeah, so that's not even a good case for me. But like, if there were something of value here, like I guess the king, because I've already talking about forking those two, it would be worthwhile. So this fork might be useful later. I don't want to sack this piece now when I might get the chance later. All I need is to disrupt this pawn somehow, which I can't do as long as this is here, obviously. If I could get rid of this piece, I could then challenge that and move him, and then maybe convince this one to come out. That would be great if I could manage it. So how could I challenge that piece? I guess right here would work. Yeah, I think honestly being down a bishop might not be the worst thing in the world. We'll just keep him guessing, right? Like I'm taking a risk here by letting myself be down material. But I kind of like this idea. We'll see if I can manage it. And I'm going to have double pawns here too, so that might be a bad thing. Of course, then he's going to immediately take the pawn. Right, he'll retake, and then I can move this pawn forward. So, overall, I think it's a pretty sound strategy, unless he catches on to it. So I'm kind of hoping that he moves this piece out of danger and just ignores the threat. Then again, he might... I never thought about this threat. I never thought about how exposed my king might be. I didn't even consider... I didn't even check to see if my king could be taken, or my queen could be taken, or my rook. I didn't even check. I'm just getting lucky here. Yeah, okay, he took it. Oh, he can take with this piece. He doesn't have to bother with that one. Okay, that was a good play. Okay. So at this point, nothing has really changed for me other than I'm either going to lose this trade or this trade. I have to give up one of those trades. So, but I did kit some tempo on him and at least force him to make a move. You know, if I do put this piece here and he takes, I could sack my rook and gain nothing. It's not sounding like a good idea. Okay. You know, and this fork isn't going to stay here forever. It's not going to be available to me forever, so it's going to go away at some point. And plus, when he moves his horse, or when he moves his knight, it's probably going to somehow have an impact. Like, I'm sure he'll find a way to frustrate my plans. What if I take my knight and put it here? What am I threatening? That and that. I could guarantee that I take a pawn and still sacrifice this piece. Yeah, that's not seeming so promising. What if I put it here? Okay, then I can at least threaten that. It has to move. It can't move. This knight has to move then. Okay, so let's think it through. I go here. He takes. It's at least an even trade at this point, although he's still up material. It's not so good for me. What's my next move? Rook goes here. No. Next move is to move my queen here. Move this here. I'm still losing this piece, though. Let's say I go here, he takes with a knight. Then I push my piece forward, I still lose my piece. I don't get this out of the way. So that doesn't create the opening I want. But what I could do, at the very least, is pin that pawn to the rook. That means his rook is trapped until his queen comes out to play. I don't think that's good for me. Like, it's a really interesting idea, but I'm not up material. So I don't think it benefits me in the long run. Okay, so I could either try... I could try to take back and just accept that I'm going to be down a knight. Or I could move the knight out of danger and just accept that I'll miss this. I don't know of a way to threaten him, right? If I move this here... Okay, then I could threaten there. He can't take with this without doing a fair trade, which is better for him. No, he can take there. Never mind. Yeah, that doesn't work for all kinds of reasons. He probably wants the trade. What I could do is offer this piece and just convince him not to take it. Now that's a good idea. Because it opens up this file, right? So he might not want to take that. We'll just find out. We'll just see what he does with it. So if I can't figure out what to do, complicating the position seems like a pretty good move on my part. Since I'm down material, just complicate the position until something shakes loose. But I will say, like, it does feel like he's doing really well, and I've taken risks I didn't need to. I've taken unnecessary risks. I mean, I could have closed this position a long time ago and simplified. I could have chosen to close this position on this turn and simplify, so I'm kind of gambling a lot, right? So he takes here. He doesn't get this involved. So he's still defending it, in other words. Okay. Cool. I don't actually want him coming down this way, come to think of it, because right here in one move, he's got a pin. I could go here. Oh, no, I can't go there. So where can I not go? I can't go here. I can't go there. I can't stay where I'm at unless I'm with the king. Oh, if he goes down there, I just sack him with this piece. So I don't think he's going to do that. I would like to get my queen out a little bit. I'm tempted, but honestly, this position's really complicated. That might be a free pawn. What's defending it? Nothing here. So I could go ahead and take here, and then just that's a free pawn. He's still up material, 5 points though. Let me just go ahead and take here and leave it at that for now. May or may not have been a good move. At the very least, I can now threaten this piece a little bit. So maybe that is good for me. It also opens up another, what is that, a file? It opens this up, so. Okay, he's found out what I'm up to. He's like, I don't like that so much. He's getting rid of the problem, which fair enough. I could trade this for a pawn, which I don't want to do. I could move it here and debilitate myself. I don't want to do that. If I move it here, what can attack me? Yeah, so this is off limits. That's off limits. This is okay. That's okay. This is not okay. That's off limits too. What about moving in this corner? Well, the king takes, and there's not a bishop or anything defending. Somehow I've lost my bishop. That's right. So I guess I'll move here. I don't really have a lot of options. Oh, I could have tried threatening him in some other way, some novel way. But anyway. Oh, he can take now. Yeah, okay, but it's guarded. So, what did he just take? He took a pawn. Okay, so which thing is he trying to threaten now? There's that, there's that, there's that. He's trying to attack the queen, I guess. I did say at some point that this was a free pawn. It still looks free if I want to try and take it with my queen. He's only up 3 points of material. The question is really whether it's worth the risk or not. I think I'll do it. I mean, yeah. I want to, like, I find myself playing aggressively when I don't know what to do. It could be a good or a bad thing. But it is what it is. Okay, so, did he take? Yes, he did. Oh, I didn't even notice that. Okay, I just wasn't paying attention. I just thought, well, he's in this position. I can guard whatever he can attack. But I didn't notice the bishop. So, not a fair trade for me, but honestly, like, yeah, I'd be better off getting rid of those pieces of his. I should have probably prematurely traded his, I probably should focus on trading his knights instead of mine, quite honestly. What does this do for me? Oh, nothing. Okay. So I think he's pretty well stuck at the moment, unless we want to retreat. We have the rooks. We could bring the rook forward, but there's a risk we need to retreat. Right now, this piece is under attack, so I can't move that without sacrificing it. Well, no, I mean, sort of. I can take the knight at any time right now. I think I need to focus on the queen. What can the queen do? Can the queen provide a threat? Not here, really. Not there. Nope. Nope. Nope, nope. 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 Queen can't really move a lot of places. This is also off limits. Like, the only places the queen can move are, like, here. I wish I knew how to do different color. Yeah, I don't know how to do different color. Anyway, the only places the queen can move are really, like, here. They're not good options for her right now. So I even need to open up space. I mean, my king's well defended, at least. Mostly. I even need to open up space somehow for the attack, or retreat my queen. I think those are my two options. He could take this pawn right now. There's nothing guarding it, so maybe I'll just guard that with a queen. There we go. Simple enough. He's probably pre-moved. He's probably knows what he wants to do next, right? A mental pre-move, I guess. What do I need to do next? So I'm running out of material here. He's +5. I lost my bishops, which I don't like. I at least still have my knights, which I also don't like. I'd rather trade them for bishops. Excuse me, I can't develop here. Okay. He's attacking the queen. Fair enough. Is there a way I can attack him? Well, I could do this, but he's going to take my queen. Obviously. Okay, so I guess I set up for him to do that attack. Now, if I move here, I can still theoretically attack along here, and I can attack along here. Sorry, that was a bad arrow. I can still theoretically attack along here. This spot is safe at the moment. This spot is not safe. Okay. This spot is not safe. This spot's safe at the moment. Safe, safe. I mean, I could just attack his knight. If I go retreat, I mean, it does give me some options, but I don't feel like it's necessarily good options. If he comes down here, what's he threatening? Nothing on that side. What if he comes here? Okay, he could win one of those pawns, which would be good for him. He'd go for this pawn over here, obviously. This is the one. But if I take the queen, I can defend that position. What if he went here? Nothing really there. Let's defend that position with the queen. Okay, let's see what happens. He's not going to go for repetition at this point, right? I feel like I'm learning a lot. I do not feel like I'm going to win this game. I think with 30-minute, maybe I mean, these players can spend more time thinking, so maybe they're doing what I'm doing, just thinking everything through, right? Okay, so long-term goals. Like, he has a lot of pawns, and I've let mine go, haven't I? He's got 3 of my pawns and my 2 bishops, which I just let go of one of them. The other one I kind of sort of traded it for tempo. It wasn't a very good trade nonetheless. I didn't use it effectively. But I kind of at least had a theory of why to give it up. The other one I wasn't even just wasn't even paying attention. He's going back to this spot. Apparently he's going for repetition. Okay, well, I don't see any point to moving my queen again. I could go in here and threaten him, but he'll just take. What if I go here? What does that do for me? Here. Here. I mean, this sort of helps me on the side there, but could also try pulling the rook out. I don't think there's a way he can pin me at the moment, at least with this knight. But what about this one? If I put my rook here, he could pin me to that right here. So there's a pin, and I can't take him unless I use the queen. I think that's a bad idea, although it might work. I think I could take with the queen there. All right, well, what if he lets me slide out here and I take the risk of getting the queen here? Okay, maybe I slide out here instead. The queen's here. That guy's gone. This guy would be in my way, so I couldn't go here. Maybe I line it up here or something. Or, alternately, I just move this here, take him if he goes there, and then move the knight out of the way and just go forward against this bishop. The queen could go in front. We want. So then I could go for a pin here. I mean, but do I really want to sack the queen for a rook? No. Not really. And that's even assuming there is no other way for him to grab me. I think we'll try it. We're going to be a little bit aggressive. It's probably a bad idea. I keep being aggressive in ways that I don't think quite hold together. But I mean, I guess it's better than being timid and doing nothing, right? We'll see what he can do with this. Let's see, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pawns. I've only taken 2 of them. I mean, I guess I could kind of go pawn hunting a little bit, but he's got so many pieces. One good news for me is that this bishop is totally locked in, so I could probably punish him for that. If he does go for this, and I end up having to move my queen here, and if the queen is safe there, then I could punish him by going this way. Oh, no, I can't, because the rook. The rook sees it. Okay, so he didn't bother to go for that. That false pin. He probably thought about it with as much time as he spent. So I could go in front of him and attack really one pawn, and that's it. But we're sacking the knight at that point if we take it. Oh, also we're sacking the knight here. Yeah, so that's not a good move for me unless I have something defending it, which I can't because of this. So, maybe all I need to do is move this guy. I could do an even trade, although that's not good for me at this point. I really don't want his bishop to be freed up. To be honest with you, the only thing... Well, let's think about it. Let's say I move this somewhere safe and useful. Let's presume it's useful. Then he's going to move this guy here or something. Oh no, the bishop's just stuck. I can get in there, but I lose... my rook. Alright, well, let's give him some time to figure out what he's going to do. Let's see if he spots it. If he does, then I just go for something else. Because I don't think the queen's going to take a rook. And I don't see any other way for him to take me if I do this plan. And maybe what I do is just sack my rook. Oh, he'll be in check at that point. That would be good for me to yeah, that'd give me some tempo at least. But he can get this out here, so then my rook goes where? My rook can go here. No, that's not a good trade for me. So actually keeping him stuck is better for me than sacking my knight. I said rook, didn't I? Keeping this in place is better for me. I want to lock this piece up. And then threaten it. And then if I can take it... that's good for me. Because I feel like I can take it there without any repercussions as long as he doesn't move the wrong pieces. I mean, things will change by the time I get the chance. But, man, if the king if I could just keep him locked in and still get a threat on the king. I mean, maybe I could go this way and then go here. Oh, that doesn't threaten his king. That doesn't work. That's off limits, that's off limits. So if I want to go this way, my only real move is here. And then from there, this is a potential move. That still doesn't threaten the queen, though. At least the king, though. It threatens this at least, but I guess then we take with a knight. But then we're not threatening anything there. Well, no, it'd be check. So yeah, okay. It'd be something. So I think my next move is probably this one. And again, if he doesn't spot it in time, he's got to do something to save his bishop. Or so he thinks. Honestly, the best thing for me to do at this point is probably to play carefully. Okay, he's worried about losing his queen. I don't know if this changes my calculation much. I'm going to assume for now that it doesn't, and just move this piece. We're attacking this. Yeah, he could capture, but that didn't change. His queen is defended, not that it matters. It's also, like, too far behind for me to go for it. You know, I probably missed a fork here. Not a very good fork, though. Did I miss a fork here? Not a very good one because he can capture. And also forking against what? I don't see it. Okay, so I need to start looking for forks more whenever he moves important pieces. Okay, so let's think about it. Let's do our calculation. Well, I think the best move for us is to go here, right? Then we can still take that. This guy can't move at all. Still can't move. So to go here, we're attacking him with a rook. Sorry, with a knight. Knight goes here. Queen is not going to capture that. So it's just a free piece. He can't get out of the way in time. Let's see what happens. I mean, he obviously is on the defensive right now. I don't know if I can make my plan happen, but I at least caused him to waste 2 turns. Right, because he moved his queen out and then back, so he didn't necessarily have a plan there. So I at least shook him up. And so I have tempo. He doesn't. His tempo's been interrupted. So at least I've gained that. Now if I can only manage to do something useful with it. Sorry, I was on mute. I figured it out. The reason he moved his queen here was so that his bishop, when it was there, would have the chance to go this way. But it still would have been neutralized because of this threat. Like, I wouldn't have had it off the board, but it would have been neutralized. Now, I don't really see any credible threat here to my knight, and it complicates the position. Like, it makes it easier for him to blunder, which is exactly what I want right now. So what if I move here? We're threatening this piece and that piece. That sounds good to me. I could also just move this out right here. I want to be, well, I could move it there then. That's a bad move. Yeah, I keep thinking about this guy. Okay, I think the only reason he's here is to keep my rook in. So let me move the rook and see if that changes what he does. Hopefully there's no chance here for him to fork me that I didn't even look for. He could attack this piece and that square. So if I move my rook here, then I'm losing one of them. Like if I move my rook to that square, I'm definitely losing one of them. So I got to be careful about that. Now what did he do? He moved his rook here. He's willing to trade rooks. He is up material, so that's a good trade for him. But I caused him to waste a turn at least. Now if I move this here, he can do an equal capture with rooks. But oh, see now the way I'm doing it, I'm either giving up 3 points or I'm doing an equal trade here. I think I'm fine doing an equal trade. Is there anything better I can do? What if I moved here? Well, no. obviously. Maybe I should have been more aggressive on my last turn, maybe. But I don't really know how I could have. Now, what I could do is just ignore everything and try to deliver a check, which I can't really do from this position. If my queen were here, that'd be perfect, right? I could try moving here with the rook, but the pawn's going to capture. Pawn's going to capture here, so these two are off limits. That's off limits because of the knight. So really, this rook can't move anywhere, forward at least. Can move sideways. I could just bring it over to attack the king. Or I could do an even trade between rooks. Or, is there a way I can threaten him on this square? Now, if I move here, he gets to choose... Well, if I move here, then this piece is protected. But then he can capture. So move that out of my way. Well, it's not in my way as far as I know. But it would do that. And so maybe that would be good for me. I could sidestep my rook and kind of threaten to do something. I think that's better than me just moving this out of the way and letting him do an even trade. I at least want to make him think about it before he does something that disadvantages me. That's what I'm going to do. All right. I have 6 minutes left. I'm probably going to lose this game on time, unfortunately. But honestly, like, I'm learning a lot. I just need to do another game after this. That's what I need to do. Maybe I should start playing 10-minute games. And just go quickly. Well, when I start thinking more quickly, then I can do shorter games, I guess. I like these positions that are tricky and complicated and take a long time. So maybe I should go for 90-minute chess or something. I don't know. I mean, I certainly don't want to go to a daily game, right? That would just be the worst. Like a 1 turn per day kind of game. All right, so if he takes that, I'm going to... Yeah, my rook's in trouble right now. But I can push this over and at least introduce a threat. You know what, though? That endangers my queen. Let's say I push this over, right? He takes with the rook. My queen now has to move. So I can't move it here because that endangers my queen. But I could move it here and then move the queen in front of it, I think. So we're just going to see how this goes. We're going to see how he takes it. He's got to deal with the threat of checkmate, right? He's going to completely ignore it. I mean, queens could take queens. That would be beneficial to him, unfortunately. Yeah, that's the only problem with it. Uh-huh. Yeah, I didn't spot that. If I could move the rook forward and get the queen behind, that's just fair. I mean, if I'd move the rook here and then went up here, no, that wouldn't work. Okay, well, I could go after this. There's nothing defending it, right? Let's do that much at least. Let's get another rook involved instead of the queen. Maybe I should have gone here instead and then just scooted over instead of taking his knight. Anyway, he's only up 5 points of material again. He's taking both my knights. We're just going to see how this goes. At least it's not a simple position. Well, it is simplifying, though. That's unfortunately the case. Despite my best efforts, it is simplifying a lot. Would he take a pawn? Oh, he took my queen! I didn't notice that. Duh. Okay, well, I could just give up my rook at this point. That's off limits for the rook. I can't believe I gave up my queen. I didn't even think about it. Didn't even think about it. Okay, well, that's that. Okay, well, I assume he's going to win this game. I'm at least going to make it tedious for him. That's not a good position, unfortunately. Let's move. That's not a good spot. This is an okay spot. Let's move there. Just keep going. Whoops. Mace will send a message. Okay, he took another pawn, I assume. Yes. And he's threatening this, which is fine. I wanted to get rid of it. But is there anything else he's threatening? Not that I can see. He can move here. Yeah, I'm not worried about it. We're just going to continue on, see what we can do. I should have responded to his threat against my queen, but he also should have responded to this threat. I honestly shouldn't have taken his knight. I should have just gone straight to the square. That would have been faster for me. I would have still lost the queen. But that would have been better for me. His knight would have still been back here, so that would have been better. His knight can now produce some kind of a threat by, by going up here. And then potentially here. Yeah, that'd be a check. So maybe I move my king at some opportune moment. But at any rate, he's going to have to deal with the threat now. He probably can. I imagine one of the easiest ways is just to move the rook to the back rank. That's going to deal with the threat pretty nicely. But he has to do something, right? I've got tempo. I gave up a lot of pieces for some tempo, so we'll see what I can do with it. Yeah, just blundered my queen away. Okay, it's interesting that he chose to move forward. I guess he was hoping I wouldn't wipe out all of his pawns. But I'm not interested in his pawns. I'm interested in his king. So let's see what happens. Oh, he can take me now. I just blundered my rook. Okay, I'm just going to end this game quickly and reduce the pain. He's going to take my rook, then I'm going to take his queen, and then he's going to win. Yeah, that was a good move by him, and I really should have thought about it. I'm going to say good game. And I'm honestly... It's not like I'm going to try and give it to him. But he can check me in this position, in which case I either need to go this way or that way. So if he moves his knight here... If he moves his knight... Wait, where was it? No, not there. If he moves his knight here and then here... That means my king can never use this space anymore. So either he gets stuck here and he's checkmated, or he gets stuck here. Well, that's kind of a stalemate, actually. I think I'm better off here. Let's at least force his rook to do something else. I probably should move one of these pawns just for the sake of... I need to push my king forward. I don't have a choice. So I got to find some way to do that without losing pieces too badly. Yeah. I think what I'll do is defend the pawn right here, push forward with this one, and then with this one push forward too. I think that's my plan at the moment. Obviously his plan's going to intervene at some point when he figures out my plan, but we'll see what I can do. I mean, the moment this piece can't... yeah, it's going to be this piece. Oh, I think I know what he's trying to do. He's going to bring these two down. I wonder why he bothered to move this one first, but... I mean, he is closer to getting a queen than I am. I could try to come and defend, but honestly, he's just going to frustrate me with these two pieces, so I may as well do what I'm doing, except that he's going to get a queen at some point, and not do anything. There. At least not do anything there. He's trying to block me off here. I think I can still defend this, though. I can attack him here in a minute. Which I'm going to go ahead and do, disrupt his tempo a little bit. I still have to move my king at some point, which is going to disrupt my tempo. He can't take any of these pieces, though. I can't take his rook, though. His rook, that would put me in check, so I can't take his rook. Although that looked appealing. So I think we're good. I think this is the best move we can do, rather. I mean, we're going to lose this game. That's... I don't know why, like, I was kind of doing kind of 50-50 on my games, and then I had one day where I was kind of ahead, and now it's just like I'm losing every game. I feel like I'm smarter than I was, and that's why I'm losing. That's how I feel right now. I don't see any benefit to lining up my pawns. He's going to protect this one all the way down. He's not even going to fight with this. Which, fair enough. I'm just going to keep going, do what I can do. I do have to move my king before I can move this piece. And if I move either of these pieces, they're just going to be floating and unprotected. So I'm not going to bother with his pieces right there. I do need to move a king, actually, before I can move anything. Because otherwise it's going to be stuck. So I probably should have moved there, to be honest. This at least gives me a chance to guard the king a little bit. He's going to get a queen. Yeah, he's going to get a queen right now, so... I can't move this. It's pinned. Okay. I can't move the king either. There's nowhere the king can move legally. This is close to checkmate. He might cause stalemate if he's not careful, which would be fine by me. I think he could probably get me with a knight most easily. Aha! Okay, somehow he took away every one of my legal moves. I'm not really sure how. Okay, I can't move this piece. Oh, that's why. I can't move that piece. It's pinned. I can't move that piece. Yeah, he got me a draw. What's this? A rematch? Yeah, let's do it. A rematch. All right. I've never done a rematch before. Okay, this time I'm going to go quickly through the opening if I can. Nothing too tricky or crazy. We're just going to do that. We're going to defend. Nothing too crazy. Okay. I probably shouldn't trade my knights because I prefer bishops. Precisely because bishops are easier for me to understand. I probably should trade his knights for my bishops. That's probably a better trade for me, assuming he has the same issue. All right, so he didn't do the dumb thing that I kind of half expected. Not because he's a bad player, but just because, I don't know, it wouldn't make sense for someone as good as him to do that, but it just seemed like that would have been a fun move for me. I don't know that would have benefited me ultimately, but it would have been fun. So. Okay. Okay, let's take a look at that. Okay, at the very least, we're taking time on his opening. It looks like he's doing something similar to a London, but it's not something I know. I could totally force his queen back. Let's do something here. Let's attack his queen. He's got to do something about it. He's going to use a pawn. He's going to move a pawn. Although that's good for me. Oh, it's even better. Okay, this is good for me because it blocks in a pawn. It blocks in his queen with a pawn because I am going to take this trade. I think losing my bishop, I learned from the last game I'd rather lose his knight than to my bishop. He can do what he wants. I guess he could take with the queen though. It wouldn't be a smart move. He is taking with the queen. He wants to play more aggressively now. I don't really have a direct attack on the queen. Okay, so I could push forward here. I can move there. He takes. I move here. The queen is not going to bother with that realistically. I could attack the queen here, but he's going to take. At least I noticed the move. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. If I could get rid of this piece, that would be good for me. If I could convince him to move forward and move this piece out of the way, I could then attack the queen. But that's multiple steps to get a one-turn attack. That's clearly not my best move. My best move at this point probably is just to stay up on time compared to him. Let me not overthink it. Let me just move my queen and then castle. Yeah. Let's do all my thinking on his turn. Okay, I want a castle, and then what? He's going to play actively with his queen this time, so I think if I just develop normally and I should have got my bishop out before my queen. I guess I'll go this way, go for the fianchetto thing, since I'm definitely castling this direction. So that's fine. And then get my king over here. I think that's probably my best bet at this point. Yeah, and if I can just quickly move and avoid... Oh, let's castle first. If I can just quickly move and let him think and think on his turn. What was his last move? Let's see. No, he just moved again. Oh, he moved the rook through. Or the knight. I should have thought about whether or not there was any kind of a useful fork. I really should have thought about that when he moved his knight. I should have spent at least a little time on that. I got to learn how to manage my time better. But I'm not seeing at the moment. I could challenge him. He's going to take. It's going to force me to do something. At least lets me move this forward at some point. But still, my knight could be taken at that point by a pawn, which I don't like. I could try to move here. No. Well, let's see. I move this forward. He takes. My knight cannot move out of threat. Yeah, this guy's in my way. He's blocking really well. Okay, so let's not wish for things that could be. If we go here, I'm not seeing any particularly useful moves for him other than this one where he checks my king. So I'm going to avoid that for now. I think that's my best move. Okay, and again, we want to go with the fianchetto. Although, honestly, it doesn't help me much at this particular moment. So maybe I'll save that for later when it's more useful. Because this knight's in the way. It's probably not a true fianchetto. Anyway. Of course, I guess I'd be defending the knight. Anyway. We'll figure it out. Okay, but he is developing his queen really strongly. This is not an opening I recognize. And he's... Okay, we got an even trade. I'm not up material. Or I'm not down material, at least. It was a dumb move. It was kind of rash for me to do that trade, to be honest. The more I think about it, the more rash it seems. Okay, protecting the queen, which doesn't matter that much, because if we get a chance to trade for the queen, we will. Heck, if I might even be willing to trade queens. Kind of, sort of, but not really. I can't see a better move than this one right now. We'll just see what he does next. He could target this square. He could probably bring his queen. No, he can't bring his queen here. Okay. So his queen's kind of trapped at the moment. Queen doesn't have a lot of options. Maybe his plan was to come in here and threaten this way. It would have been a good option for him before I did this. But it's kind of a one-move thing because I had this option the whole time. Well, no, it wasn't a good option for him. He's just trying to force a castle. Okay, got it. I don't have a better move, so let's pull this out. What is my next move, though? I do need to go on this side of the board. At least he's castled, so now I know where to go. I don't want to trade material yet. I kind of want to push this pawn forward. I think that's a good move for me in general. Yeah, that move doesn't hurt me anymore. I think this is a great move for me. Maybe I should have done that this turn instead of waiting. Anyway. Well, I did slightly develop my bishop. I probably should have gone all the way to here, to be quite honest with you. No, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I don't like the trade. Okay, well. Yeah, okay, so technically I developed my pieces about as fast as I could. He's doing the same. Okay. I don't want this trade. What was my plan again? Oh, my plan was to attack his knight. I think if I take his knight and he takes mine, that's a fair trade. So let's threaten his knight, see what he does about it. Yeah, if I can just get this pawn out of my way, that'll be great, I think. Okay. I mean, I guess he could just take, right? I never considered that. He could just take instead of moving his knight. In which case, both of my knights are going to be in danger. So that was really a bad move on my part. That was really a blunder, because I'm going to lose two knights. I'm going to be down material on this side. At least on this side, it's an even trade. But I definitely have to move this knight afterward somewhere. So it probably wasn't my smartest move, now that I think about it. Okay, so I know what I'm doing next. I'm moving this knight. Am I moving it here? Oh, good. He didn't take, because he wants to keep this pawn structure as much as he can. I could threaten the queen and then take this. Well, no, he's going to trade that back and open up this file. Maybe he wouldn't do that. I kind of wanted to take this one, if I'm being totally honest with you. I think threatening here is really valuable. The question is, do I want to save my knight or not? I could move this here. It doesn't threaten the queen or anything. The next thing it's going to threaten is going to be a light square. That's another way to look at it. I could move this here. The queen can't take, but this sure can. That also frees up his thing. I'm going to leave this trade on the board. I don't think it's good for me, but I don't think it's good for him either. It's at least not amazing for him. It's just clears up the board a little bit. So I'd rather take something that's clearly good for me rather than something that's not clearly good for me, if that makes sense. So maybe I should have played this a little bit sooner in my opening. Maybe I should have played here to begin with and then done that right away. I don't know. Okay, he moved that out of my way. It means my piece is now in my way. So that wasn't a bad move on his part. What if I move here? And then that's not really a real threat. That's not a real threat. That's also... it's a better threat anyway. Yeah, so if he moves a piece here... if he moves a piece here, I can go here, but then he's gonna notice, right? Maybe he doesn't notice. Maybe I can challenge him in some way. I'm thinking about moving that there. I don't have a better option, so let's do it. At least get some kind of play on the board. Quite honestly, at least his pieces are far from my king, right? Mine aren't particularly close to his king, but at least his pieces are far from my king. So these pawns are doing their job. You know, he's trying to break through on this side. I'm trying to break through on his side, but I think we're doing okay right here. Oh, and we're threatening this pawn, which may be more important. May honestly be more important than the knight. I don't know why he moved that there, since this is going to... oh, I've got a fork opportunity, don't I? No, I don't. Hang on. Before I get excited, let's do this properly. Boom. Boom. Yeah, I don't know why he did that. I think disrupting this pawn structure, it's not for free though. He can take. He'd be up material. And I'm not so smart about trading material for tempo, as we've learned. That's not a good move. That's not a good move. This is a good move. It destroys my tempo. No, that's the bad move, because my queen would be lost in that case. Maybe what I should do is move my queen here? Question mark. I can't take that pawn, though. I can't move it here. Maybe I move it here and kind of threaten in this direction. I don't know what his response to that will be. It's not the worst idea I've had. Let's go with it. I do want to kind of like protect this because he's had the pin on the queen for a while. So kind of forcing me not to blunder my queen, so to speak. Forcing me not to bring it out and develop it too much. Although if I had moved the knight first, that really would have blundered my queen. That really would have been horrible. Okay, so he didn't have a reason to stay there other than the pin. That was it. Interesting. He wasn't interested in a fair trade there. Okay. Now what? Okay. Man, that file's protected by my own piece, from my own aggression. I can't move here. I could take here. Queen takes. Yeah, the queen would take there. I'm not really sure I want to be down material again. It is an aggressive play, though, and it could be good for me. Oh, man, I probably have to resign this game, actually, because I don't have much time left. Oh, man, it's such an interesting game, too. I have only a few minutes to go pick up my son. So I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and do this move and just play bullet. I'm not going to tell him I'm out of time or why I'm playing fast. I don't want to give him an advantage right now, but I'm going to play kind of fast and hard and see what sticks. Okay, clearly he's taking that. It was a good move for him. That's not a good... There's no credible threat in this direction with the queen, or this direction. The queen's kind of stuck, kind of sequestered. There's not really a credible threat here either. I could take the rook out for some play. Maybe here. Let's do it. Let's not think about it. Let's start moving. We need to lose quickly. I don't have time to wait. I totally forgot that I had something come up. Yeah. I can afford to wait maybe 20 minutes, but not 40, so. Well, that kind of changes my calculus a little bit, but not too much. I'm going to move here. Threaten his... He's got to move now, which may be good for him. I don't know. We'll find out. Yeah, I don't want to think... Okay, that was not bad. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is good for him. It's bad for me. Yeah, he destroyed my tempo by me letting him. Okay, I don't see a direct... No, that was a bad move. Whoops. That was a blunder. Totally a blunder. Okay, well. He's gonna... Oh, man, I'm helping him out so much by doing that, too. I'm lining up his pieces. Oh, no, that's my piece. Okay, well, it would be kind of a fair trade, then. Maybe I'll take the trade and find out what happens to my queen. I'm playing like... I need to play like bullet chess, right? So... To be quite honest with you, if I'm a little bit late right now, if I'm late in this game, then it costs me a little bit of money in real life. Maybe it's worth it. But I still need to pick up the tempo a lot. I can't be obscenely late. I mean, if I'm obscenely late and rack up a huge bill with my son's daycare, then my wife will be unhappy with me, so. Okay, come on, man. Don't take too long to think about it. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't tell him that because he could just run down his clock and force me to resign. Not that I would expect him to do that, but... Okay. I need to get music for my games, I think, because... Yeah, this would be a great thing to do with music. Okay, so he did nothing. Since I'm in this precarious position, let me just look for any sort of... I can go here and there, but he's going to take it. Yeah, okay. It's at least defended here. Let's go here, force some sort of... Oh, yeah, it's a pin. Yeah, he's gonna do an even trade. But it opens up this, which isn't good for me. But again, we need to play quickly right now, so that's how it is. And he's got great structure right here, too. Why am I trying to attack on this side? That was such a dumb move. I should have been going this way to attack. I was so dumb. So very dumb. Okay, well. You know, at least I'm learning lessons, just not quickly enough. Okay, well. I can take this piece. Why didn't he just take with his bishop and lose that bishop? Did he prefer to have a light squared bishop over the dark squared bishop? For some reason? I don't know. If I go here... I mean, I could just leave that there. It doesn't really harm me in any particular way for him to, yeah. Just leave that complication there for me to forget about. Let's see. Let's push forward right here. Yeah, we just need to push. Push. Excuse me. Oh, I should have waited. I should have pushed this pawn instead. Okay, he's taking. I'm taking. Maybe he decided that position was good for it. No, he would have done it sooner if he thought that was good for him. I just think he made a bad move, and I didn't want to compound it, I guess. It wasn't beneficial to me necessarily. Okay, I got to move the rook somewhere. I mean, I could trade it for a knight. That's better than being down material by a bunch. We threaten here. I think that's what I'll do. Oh, he's going to take that. That's a clear move. He's going to take it. He's going to trade material. It's going to be good for him, and I lose play. Okay, well, that's how it goes. Okay, he didn't do that for some reason. Why? He's going for a checkmate, I guess. I can force him back, but he's just going to take my rook. Let me just try saving the rook and see what happens. Man, I've been playing really badly so far. Let's play here. See what happens. Man, I don't see what value of moving his queen is, and I wish I had time to evaluate. So you need to move quickly. Okay, so I just need to move quickly and not think too hard about it. I do want to move my queen over and try to come up this way. That's assuming he doesn't blunder his queen in some way. I do need to check for that. His next move should almost certainly be with a queen. He probably shouldn't fight with that. What did he do? Okay, he took the bishop. Fine. He is threatening to take the rook. If I move here, it's a fair trade. No, it isn't, because he'd take my queen then. I mean, I can't really exactly take his rook. Whoopsie daisy. I can't exactly take his rook. I could go here, and then if he takes my rook, I take his rook. Heck it. Let's do it. I don't have any better ideas. It's a precarious position for me. He's going to decide which one to take. I mean, I guess if he takes... You know what? I should have just moved this guy out. That would have been better. Would have been much smarter than just doing anything here. Should have just moved him over here. Why? Why would I not do that? Why would I not save him? It's so dumb. I'm guaranteeing that I lose a rook, and this one's for free. Okay, he's just scared of me because I'm doing dumb stuff. I'm going to take it, you know? I am going to protect my queen, although that's probably not the best move for me. He's disrupted my pawn structure, so that's great for him. That's why he moved his queen down here, disrupt my pawn structure. Yeah, I let that pawn floating on its own. That was a bad move. I should have moved this one instead and kept a nice line here. Okay, he took advantage of my mistake. At least now I'm understanding why he's moving his queen like this, right? And like multiple times I blundered a piece and just scared him and freaked him out and made him not interested in taking more of my pieces, right? So it's a good strategy. Oh, he's gonna at some point realize this is free. Okay, well, whatever. I've lost the piece. Maybe he's just trying to have a fun game even though I'm being dumb. I don't really know what's going on. But he missed the free pawn, so I'm not going to bring it to his attention at this point. Why don't I go here? Capture a piece. There we go. I've kind of moved my way into a fairly strong position. Is that checkmate? I don't think it is. The only thing I can do, though, is pin my rook. Probably should boot him out at this point on my next turn, just to avoid that happening again. Could have moved my queen over. I don't know that would have been better for me. I kind of like having my pieces lined up here, although this is in the way. It's problematic. So I guess I need to move over here, but he's going to respond with a pawn very easily. Yeah, this is the only one that really had any freedom. But now he either needs to trade queens or move his queen out and do something different. So we'll see what he does. Man, time is really passing quickly for me. I don't have a lot of time to stick around here. I might have to resign from the game. He is up 7 points of material. It's only going to get worse from here. Man, I should have just walked away. But you guys get to see the fun. Okay. Can I threaten him in any way without blundering a piece? I don't think I can. Okay, so I'm going to threaten this. Snoozing again. I really need to move quickly. I need to move in like the next 5 minutes. So I think I'm probably just going to resign. I guess I can offer a draw. Oh, man, I wish my queen were here. Let's move it there. Let's see if he spots that or not. Okay, what did he take? Oh, my rook. I didn't spot that. I should have. I see why he did that. It's to protect himself. I don't have any ideas. All right, well, we're going to do this. We're going to just sack the queen in some last-ditch effort that's going to fail. Yeah. Yeah, it's a shame. I started this game so well, and I had such great intentions. We're going to trade queens here. But he's up material. He's going to like that trade, and then I'm just going to resign. I started this game so well, and I was like, oh man, this is going to go so much better than the last game, but I do not have time. It's unfortunate. And we got 40 minutes on the clock here almost, so. Yeah, okay. So it's time for me to sacrifice the rook and just give it to him. I'm going to just do it in the dumbest way possible. Yep. That's a disappointment, but that's how it goes. All right, guys, catch you later. I am